Greetings and welcome to the Green Arrow Combo Guide for Injustice 2. The purpose of this video is to be just that, a guide. These are not necessarily the best or most optimal combos, just things I've noticed and learned during the game's first 2 weeks of release. So you are free to steal these combos as they are or improve on them any way you like. So I'll start with Green Arrow's Longbow Hunter String, which is forward 2 down 1. The down 1 part is a low, which is good for mix-ups. And if you have one bar, this is something, just what I like to do at least. Forward 2 down 1, even in bow spin, back 3, 3, reverse sky alert, back 2, 3 for a hard knockdown. If you have Ice Arrow, the Longbow Hunter, Ice Arrow, jump 2, 1, 1, 1, either in bow spin, back 3, dash, 3, reverse sky alert, back 2, 3 for the hard knockdown. Now, I didn't do a good job of showing it there, but as long as you walk forward just a little bit, you are in range for forward 2, as the hard knockdown for back 2, 3 means they can't roll away, and they have to get up where they are. So forward 2, as long as you walk forward just a little bit, will keep the pressure going in case you want to keep closer to your opponent. Let's go over those one more time, and let me just explain a couple things. This confirm will work no matter what you start with, as long as your opponent's on the ground when you do meter burn bow spin. Same thing, you know, 1, 1, 1, boom, she's still on the ground, still works the same way at the end. So you could do down 1 meter burn bow spin, you could do back 2 meter burn bow spin for that overhead, and you still get it the same way. And you can still end it the exact same way. And of course, down 1. No problem. Again, as long as your opponent's standing, meter burn bow spin is a great option. If you happen to have launched them, unfortunately, it creates additional juggle states and makes it very hard to follow up. So what if you don't have meter? Well, for that, we have this. It does require you to have an Ice Arrow, but you get a double low. Then you switch to electric arrows and use the new 2, 2, 3 string to launch. Back 3. Then you notice I did 1 sky alert on the same side and 1, 1, 1, and then I shot an electric arrow for what seems like no reason. We're going to go back and look at the input at the end because I need to explain something that has changed from the first Injustice. But of course, if you happen to be starting with this game, not a big deal, but just something you should be aware of. So, let's watch it again. Nice arrow, we switch to electric arrows, we use that cool new 2, 2, 3 launcher. Very tight timing here with that back 3. And then we stay on the same side. Now look at my inputs. You'll see that I went down to back circle or trait, which is Ice Arrow. If you have used an arrow within your combo, you are not allowed to reload it at the end. So if you use Ice Arrow in your combo, until that combo's finished, you cannot reload an Ice Arrow. So hence why my electric arrow just, flew out for no particular reason. So the same thing goes. If you used electric arrows in your combo, you either switch to Ice Arrow or Fire Arrow. And for reasons I'll explain later, I would have wanted to go into Fire Arrow at the end of that combo since I was approaching the corner. So anyway, that is ways to confirm with 1 bar as long as they are standing while frozen. So what if I use Queen's Gambit, which has an overhead, and then freeze them with Ice Arrow? Well, for that, we have this. 4, 2, down, 1, 3. Freeze. Walk forward a little bit. Back 3. Then you'll notice we had to do 1 and 2 reverse sky alert. So anytime you have an airborne free state, this is what the follow-up is pretty much the same. You dash forward, you use stand 1, then you reverse sky alert, and then you end with 1, 1, 1, because there is just no time to do back 2, 3. We'll watch that one more time. Ice Arrow. We confirm off Queen's Gambit. We back 3. We do 1 into reverse sky alert, and then we 1, 1, 1. And then you notice I load electric arrows since I already used the Ice Arrows. So you noticed I mentioned the corner earlier. What kind of stuff do we get to do there? Well, let me tell you about the joy of Fire Arrow. As long as you fire it crouching, Fire Arrow juggles. And you can take advantage of that for big damage in the corner. So I believe that was confirmed off of Queen's Gambit. Let's watch that one more time just to make sure. So I did 4-2, down 1-3. Yep, crouching arrow. 1-1-3, Sky Alert. 1-1-3, Stinger. Now I use 1-1-3 because you have to kind of push yourself forward to combo into Sky Alert. Back in the old days, you could use 1-1-1 to do this, but the final hit of that string, which is known as... what again? It's called More Fun. Well, unfortunately, you get more fun by using Thrill Seeker. So 1-1-3, I really like to use in combo in the corner. You might also notice it's +3 on block. So as soon as I get in the corner, I have a good old time with this string. If I happen to jump in and get blocked and then go into 1-1-3, I'm in a very good situation. But otherwise, you can use 3-3, Beast Slayer. That can also combo into Sky Alert in the corner, or -10, and you might find it a little bit easier. So if you'd rather use one of those two strings, go nuts. Right, you can also, of course, confirm off the low, 4-2, down 1 into Fire Arrow. It's a little bit trickier, I think, to confirm, hence why I pre-recorded it. I think it's this one. You do 1-1-3. And then you do another Fire Arrow, and then just 1-1 Stinger, because you don't have time to finish out the string. Again, using that Fire Arrow juggle, you can get a lot of damage and essentially a lot of combo potential. I do believe I have one more in the corner, so what if you don't have Fire Arrow? If you say you have Ice Arrow? Then we get this little swaggy number. Now that backdash is completely unnecessary, but at the time I thought it was. But yeah, you can get some good damage off that. So that was 4-2, down 1 into low Ice Arrow. And then let me commentate over the rest of it. So you can just reload and then just do neutral jump 2, 1-1-1. Savage Haven Arrow, whatever that's called. Up Haven Blast, I think. And then you 1-1-3, Fire Arrow, and then 1-1-3, Stinger. And since you still have arrows loaded, you can use Stinger to get the damage. So that's kind of a thing I recommend while you're doing your combos for Green Arrow. If you need to reload, end with like 1-1-1 reload. If you don't, you can do things like 1-1-1 Stinger or 1-1-3 Stinger. Whatever you can get to work, depending on how much juggle you've already built up during the combo. There are a couple things I could not record, as it so happens you can't record your AI being in a non-standing state. So a couple things also you can use are anti-air down 2, the rising bow. I find this anti-air to be pretty good. It will either beat most jump-ins clean or trade with them. If you trade with somebody, you have time to 1-1-1 and then you can load. If you don't though, I like to go into a back 3, and this combo is very tricky. So please be patient with me as I try to demonstrate it for you. I already messed it up. So we want back 3 after that down 2. There it is. And then we can do the same thing that we usually did, and I can catch her with forward 2. So after that back 3, I dash forward 3, reverse Sky Alert, back 2, 3 for the hard knockdown. Right? If you happen to have an arrow, you can do something similar. You can like freeze her, and then you get this crazy stuff. Usually I like to shoot the ice arrow straight if I'm doing this. So that way it gets her a little bit lower to the ground. And they can do like 1-1-1 or whatever you want. You can also confirm with an electric arrow. A little bit trickier than the ice arrow, but a little bit easier than what I was doing before. And I think the easier option there is to just do stand 1 and 2 Sky Alert. Maybe I'll get it. I'll try it one more time. But again, this is kind of giving you the idea of what you want. Hey, there it was. And then I would 1-1-1 there. Back 2, 3. A little tricky there because you've already juggled them for so long. 1-1-1 also works well after a jump 1. So if you air to air them, you can then go into Stinger. Or, of course, you can just reload. And that will take care of that. Another thing to do as well are some other corner options. Let me put her back standing, and then let me make sure we reset ourselves into the corner. There we go. Okay, I put the wrong thing. Ha 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 ha. Practice options. I want to be on the left. I want to go to the right side of the stage. There it is. Okay. So, if you confirm into your Queen's Gambit and freeze, I do 4-3, Canary's Kiss, and then end the same way that I usually end the rest of my strings. I do 3, Sky Alert, back 2-3 for the hard knockdown. 4-2-3, or excuse me, 4-2, down 1-3. Oh my goodness, Queen's Gambit's a complicated string. The Canary's Kiss 4-3, 3 Sky Alert, back 2-3, and then I load fire arrows in the corner because, as you already saw, you can get some nice juicy damage with these things. Some of you might be asking, what about meter burn, trait, boxing glove arrow? There is really not a good way to combo after this anymore. Prior to the game's day 1 patch, you could do some pretty crazy stuff off of this, but they decided to take that away. Boo hiss. Still very good for zoning though, so if you're full screen, you know, meter burn arrow away. Get some nice damage, and it's a mid. However, it does go over some characters' crouching hurt boxes. That's another video that I already made. Anyway, that's the basic idea with Green Arrow. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this helps you on your way to becoming an archery master. Take care.